Sometimes the world looks like you ain't ever seen it before. Stuck behind never-ending windows, all you need is a door. Searching for something to put a smile back on your face. Just remember, in unusual times, it can come from an unusual place. You need a partner for the ride, 'cause everybody needs a Clyde. So set your worries to the side. Just ask, say the word and I'll be there. Just ask, you know the greatest things in life all come in a pair. They say hindsight's 20/20, but that ain't far enough behind me. So if you want the sweetest honey, I think hindsight's 1990. There's no need to pretend I got a hand I can lend, 'cause when you really need a friend, just ask. Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.
Are you ready to blow off Wicca camp to hang out with your new boyfriend in a villa in Tuscany? So are we. Welcome back to Shit 90 Shows Taught Me. I'm Jess Sterling here with my co-host, Sara Fergenson. Sarah, how are you?
Would you not be concerned that the other Wiccas that you just quit to put a curse on you? Because I feel like I would.
Maybe. However, Megan did say it was under new ownership. So potentially they don't even know her that well, so they're not going to be like that concerned.
Yeah. Are you upset that Megan has quit Wicca camp? Because I was a little sad for her.
I feel like because is she not like a camp counselor at this point?
Yes.
So it's not like she is actively learning new things. It seems like she's the one teaching things. Yeah. I feel like she could do her spells and everything in Tuscany,
That's true.
I think she'd be able to do it there.
Yeah. I mean, just like the tomatoes, the spells are richer in Tuscany.
Exactly.
So it seems as though she can get some fresh ingredients, do her Wicca spells. This is pretty big for Megan. Last week I wasn't very excited about the Sean and Megan thing. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because I was like, this seems like a hookup and not true love. But
we didn't know what to expect because all we saw was like the kiss. That's it. But now we're getting the aftermath, and I am so freaking here for this.
Yeah,
I found my new favorite ship. Here's the problem, because because on Buffy, there's like a whole bunch of ships to choose from, basically. And with Felicity, it's very much been like the triangle. Yeah. That's all we really care about. Elena and Tracy, yes. Then they got a little bit of weirdness with the can't have sex thing. Now we've got Megan and Sean. Is it Shegan or Mon? I think Shegan.
Sure.
Her ship name is not great.
I'm not like that into ship names, but sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's an easier way. Anyway, Megan and Sean, I'm here for this. I loved this.
Me too.
I'm very excited about it. I mean, let's just kick off by, we're talking about the finale.
Finale. First and foremost, I apologize for the week delay. Hurricane Helene was rude and disrespectful. And actually my mom got her town, Gulfport, Florida, got really fucked by it. That's one thing. Ooh. Yeah. Really, really fucked. Like brutal. It's a really cute town. It's like very artsy, and it's like extremely LGBTQ plus friendly. So there's like a lot of like queer people, and it's like very artsy, and it's like a very cute town. But yeah, like it got like a little annihilated. A lot of the small businesses got flooded out, and the people in her community, she lives in like a 55 and older community. My mom's on the third floor, but her a lot of her friends on the first floor got really flooded out too. So not only did it come through her and like like really disrupt her community. But it also came all the way to Indiana to find me. And then on Friday, it was like very Wizard of Oz, very windy, very gloomy, very scary. And then we lost power at 7:30. Adam and I were watching Shameless. We were like, we are going to get so many episodes done today because we're working through previously on Shameless. And we lost power at 7:30 and we did not have power for like more than 24 hours, but we did get it back eventually after I packed up the entire car and we were going to stay over our buddy Andrew's house. And then by the time I fully packed up the car with my 2 dogs, Andrew's 1 dog, like an overnight bag, all of our groceries that were in the fridge that we didn't want to go bad, an entire birthday cake because Adam's birthday was on Sunday. It was like a Costco cake. It was like huge. All our air mattress, a bunch of pillows and blankets, brought it all the way over to Andrew's, which was 25 minutes away, brought it upstairs, like because he lives on the 2nd floor of a walk-up type of apartment complex, brought all 3 dogs up, blah, 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 2 crates, took a shower, got out of the shower, and Adam was like, so I came by the house and the power's back. And I was like, you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? After I did all that work? I was very depressed, but happy that we got power back and it was back in time for Adam's birthday. And we just like did football. It was what he wanted. We got that cake
Sunday.
Yeah. So my apologies for our schedule getting messed up because of the hurricane, but we're fine. Everyone's fine. My mom's fine. My mom was in Alaska, so she wasn't like really affected by the hurricane.
Oh, wow. Vibing. Yeah, we didn't get anything. I don't even know if we got rain, honestly. Like it didn't come all the way up to New York. But the biggest deal there is season 2, episode 23, Felicity. We are here to chat about it, and a lot happens this episode.
It's a meaty episode. Very beefy. So, I mean, we started with the Megan and the Sean. So let's just like finish out the Megan and the Sean because we see them. They had sex and Megan is like very surprised, but also like kind of like, I got to get out of here. And Sean is like, he's into it. Like, he's very emotionally available. And I think the thing is Megan tends to be a little more closed off. I think she's used to a more like hit it, quit it sort of vibe. And she is like, she doesn't want anyone to know. That immediately gets ruined because Felicity finds out and because she sees them or sees Megan coming downstairs. Can we talk for like a split second about Felicity's hair in the morning when she wakes up? Because she still has super short hair, but the thing is that it's like in a weird little bun. I took a screenshot just to show you. Like it's in this weird little bun, but her hair is so short that like almost none of it goes in there. It looks ridiculous. Do you think it's a bun or do you think it's just a ponytail and it's just so short that
it might be a ponytail, but there's nothing in there. What is the point of this?
I mean, I think it's cute, honestly, because it gives the illusion that she has more hair than she actually has. So I am pro bun.
Just made me sad for her.
Sad for you.
But Felicity knows. And so Megan is like very uncomfortable. She doesn't want the rest of their friends knowing. So she's very much like treating him like garbage for like anything they're doing as a group, where there's like the rehearsal dinner, treating him like garbage. The wedding, she starts to treat him like garbage. But I love Sean standing up for himself. Like he is like, I demand at least a modicum of courtesy and kindness, given that like you're staying at my place. Like I've been so nice to you and you're blowing me off constantly. And I love that he did that, because I think if he didn't do that, I don't know that Megan would like respect him enough to like want to continue anything. And not only does he do that, but then he's like, here, I saw this and I thought of you. And it's a little skull necklace. And I thought this was absolutely adorable. I loved this so much. And I love that Megan is serious. We actually get to see like serious Megan. Like she takes this serious. She's just like, let me speak. Like, you're right. Like everything you said is right. And I loved this so much.
Yeah, I think that it's just a level of, and I wonder if this is like, okay, so there are people that are like, that, I mean, I guess like every single, I don't want to make like generalizations, but like I'm thinking to like women like Megan who dress like more punk and have tattoos and have like nose things. I can imagine that Megan gets a lot of like guys that like fetishize her. And she's not used to like men want to have sex with her, but they don't necessarily want like a relationship with her. And I think that if that's like what she normally gets from guys, I can see her like putting up these like walls because she doesn't want to get like emotionally attached. And she said like she's never gotten like a gift before. And she even says like she's never had missionary before sex, which I was like, she's like, I've never, the guy's never been on top before. And she was like, which I just like kind of like imagine in my headcanon that like, yeah, like men like have sex with her and treat her like a porn star essentially. So like,
well, yeah, she had said that no one else had like gotten her any jewelry that wasn't like belly button or like other ones that are a little bit more, you know, just obscure places. So that I thought was interesting.
So I just am like, this is like kind of the first time that like Sean, like a seemingly normal guy, Sean, has given her the attention that she deserves, gifts that are more romantic in nature. They had a more intimate love-making experience. I know that you hate hearing the words love-making, but like, I mean, it wasn't fucking. It seemed like a little bit more intimate than that. So I think that like she's understanding what it's like to be treated well by a guy, which if you are not used to that, at first it's like a little hard to comprehend because you're just like, why? Like, I don't deserve this. Like, this is like, you know, I'm not like this type of girl that gets treated well. So I think it took her a little bit, but I think that like Sean does a good job of like matching Megan's freak. And I'm very much into this relationship as well. And I think that Sean's like a nice enough guy that he's going to treat her well. I think Megan is under the surface of like a very like a bit of a softie. I think that they're going to have like a magical time in Tuscany. I'm very excited for their multiple month trip. And I'm curious what comes out of it. So. And then my last question is, are you a missionary girl? That's my last question.
Not answering that. But what I will say is that I adore this relationship already because we've talked about this on Buffy. I do love when there's a relationship where there's like a very strong woman and like a little bit more of a subservient guy or like maybe a more emotional guy, you know what I mean? Like a softer guy, like a guy who just wants to be loved.
Like your relationship.
I mean, not dissimilar. I don't think I am as harsh or rough around the edges as Megan is.
No. But you're definitely like, at least on the surface, bolder than your husband.
Certainly. So I love this sort of relationship. And I actually think it works so well because when you think about like the potential of like Julie and Sean, right? Which is what they've been kind of like teasing all season or like, you know, obviously Sean has feelings for Julie. He did or whatever. I think it's like they're both too squishy. They're both a little too sensitive. I don't think it would work. I think like, I think it's like too much emotion in the room. Whereas I feel like Megan and Sean balance each other a lot better. And I think they're going to bring out the best in each other in terms of like, he will soften Megan up a little bit and she will like basically poke at him and joke enough where he can like lighten up a bit in terms of not being so serious about relationships so quickly, you know? But yeah, going from we fucked like 3 times or however many times, to now we are going to, apparently the underrated story that Megan's family has a fucking villa in Tuscany. But now we're going to spend a few months in a villa in Tuscany together. This is wild, but also it gives the vibes of hold on, I'm trying to rack my brain. Oh, in Parks and Recreation, big spoilers for Parks and Recreation if anyone cares. It's an old sitcom. Skip ahead a little bit. Andy and April like just get married randomly.
Mhm.
You know, it gives vibes of that where it's like, whoa, this is moving quickly, but also it kind of makes sense for the characters.
Sometimes it does seem like things have been moving quickly, right? Like sometimes like it seems like kind of like one of those like wind up cars that it's just like it seems like you have to wind them up slowly, but then it like shoots off. And like, yeah, like that's what it seems like it is. But if you're not going to do this at this age, then when, right? When? This is the perfect
this is the time to do it.
Be a little messy, a little sloppy. And like, what's the worst that can happen? Like you guys don't get along, you come back as friends, or you know they leave early. Like it's like,
and you can avoid each other if you need to, you know what I mean? Like it's not, I mean, Sean doesn't go to NYU, I don't think, and Megan is like not even really friends with like Felicity and all them. Like, okay, maybe she is now. So yeah, either way, I'm very excited about this. I feel like the fandom, just based on like, I don't know, some of the stuff we've seen that like people like this relationship. I'm curious. Later we'll get to Temmie and DBK's voicemails, and I'm very curious specifically about DBK's reaction because I know he's a huge Megan fan, and he loves Sean, so I imagine he likes this.
I think he likes this, and I think that this is probably part of the many reasons why he despises Julie, because he's just like, Julie, get out of the way, because the true relationship, Megan and Sean, is on the horizon when she stopped being a dummy.
You're right.
Yeah,
so anyway,
I'm part of it. But yeah, I think that you and I are both just like a big 2 thumbs up on this.
Absolutely. Count me in. 2 thumbs up. Approve of this romance, approve of this relationship. We'll see where it goes. But you brought up Julie. Maybe we should jump right to her storyline, because Julie equals Jen in my mind. When we're like making comparisons to Dawson's Creek, this show will not let Julie be happy. It is like, what can we do to ruin Julie's day? And today's example of what we could do to ruin Julie's day is get a hopeful message from her biological mother to meet up. And she's like, oh my gosh, like maybe she finally wants to like get to know me. Maybe we're actually going to have like a nice little lunch and chit chat. No. It turns out Julie's fucking dad is sick. And thank God. I thought, Sarah, when we were getting this storyline, I don't know, I want to know what you thought, but I legitimately thought he was going to have like cancer and was dying.
No, I think that this made a lot of sense to me, because I mean, if you don't know, my dad actually had kidney disease and passed away from it. And when I was 18, he got sick when I was around 12. And when he was on dialysis for a really long time. But when I was 18, the first thing that I did was go to see if I was a match to donate my kidney to him.
Oh, you have to be. I guess I never thought about it. You have to be 18. That makes sense.
You have to be 18. Now, it didn't work out because I was on a match, actually. We had a different blood type, which really, I don't know, it irked me to know that, because of course, like I want to help. And then, so long story short, this is like kind of like a personal story. Like, I think like it's hard for me to not put in my own personal, like, you know, where my heart like pulls towards. I mean, first and foremost, like, it sucks for Julie. Like, it really, really does. Like, it really sucks that she is disposable until she is needed just by like harvesting organs. Like, that is really, really ridiculous. And like, we've talked a lot how the birth mother is like so wrong in these situations. Like, she is like so wrong. Like, she you know, like she didn't ask for Julie to come and find her, but she was found. But Julie has tried and wanted to get her note to her father. And like I said, she is not needed until she is. Like it, you know, it really sucks for Julie that like her mom, her birth mom rather, wants to like use her like that. However, coming from somebody that literally lost a parent due to them not getting a donor, like an organ donation. I mean, like, of course, her birth mom is going to go and like ask this of her, because the alternative is that her husband is on a wait list for years, may or may not get something, and will die. Like, I mean, not to be, you know, harsh, but it literally happened.
It's a reality. Yeah. And like, I agree with you. It just sucks because I understand where Julie's bio mom is coming from in terms of like, this is my husband. He needs a kidney. I will do anything I can to get him what he needs.
And her siblings are younger than Julie.
Yeah, they're too young, so they can't do it. And so I understand where she's coming from, but still looking at it from Julie's perspective of like, now you come to me, this man doesn't even know I exist, and now you want my help, and now you need me in your life. I cannot say how much I appreciated the conversation between Ben and Julie after this, because again, they didn't have to have that be Ben, you know, like they could have had that be any other character, but I appreciate that it was Ben and Julie because they've been through it. Like they dated, they broke up, like, you know, there was some like strife between them for a while. I like that we got to see they're friends again. Like they're fine. Everything is fine. And I don't think this is an easy thing for him to say. It's never easy to disagree with your friend, especially about something like super, super serious like this. And I just appreciated that he was like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but also your dad is innocent in all of this. Like he's not the one, he doesn't even know about you. Like who knows what he's like? Like maybe he's a douchebag, no one knows, but like maybe he's just a really nice guy who has no idea he has a daughter out there. Like, don't necessarily punish him because your bio mom sucks. Like, it's not his fault. And he's the one who's sick. But also, Julie, protect your peace. You know, like, you're not obligated to do anything. But Sarah, knowing that Julie is a Pisces and you're a Pisces, like, she wants to she's going to do it. Like we all know she's going to do it.
I know for a fact that she is going to do it. And to be perfectly honest with you, the donor has a harder recovery excuse me, than the person accepting the donation.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
It's a harder operation and recovery because you're literally like taking out like an organ. It's like it really is. So
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
It's a really selfless thing to be an organ donor. And if you know, everybody gets that question on their little
for your license or whatever.
Yeah, like and of course there's like so much like problematic stuff that comes with it, but there are people out there that like I'm just like a huge advocate for it, because you know what, there's just like somebody that like Julie's siblings are like 12 years old or something.
They're
like
young,
they can like lose their father.
Oh, that too. Yeah. No, it's I mean, I'm the same way, like, honestly, and I know maybe this is like cryptic or dark or whatever, but like if I'm gone, use my spare parts. Like I'd rather they go to someone that like it can help them. And like you said, like obviously this isn't a small decision for Julie. No. Who knows? Maybe she's not even a match, but like let's pretend she is, and she probably is. That's still rough. Like she's, like you said, there's a surgery, there's recovery, like her life will be changed as a result of doing this.
Yeah. Not to mention she is I mean, like that's her father. So that means that she is likely prone to kidney disease as well. And then fast forward like 30 years into the future, and what happens if she needs
she'll be one kidney down.
You have two, like you can survive on one, but then she's given one of her healthy kidneys away. That means that, you know, like
it's a big decision, and it shouldn't be made lightly. And on top of that, I feel like if I'm Julie, I am saying like, this is coming with strings though. Like you tell my father the truth and I get to meet him. And those are, and I know that maybe that's harsh for people, but that's what I would say. No, I would be like, this is necessary. Like he needs to know who I am, because also, Sarah, on the flip side, what if she's not a match and he does get sick and passes away or something? Like he deserves to know he has a daughter out there. Like, before he passes, if he passes, like this is ridiculous. I deserve to be in his life, and I think the move is like you have to tell him, and he gets to make the decision of if he wants me like in his life. You know, like you don't get to make that decision anymore.
I didn't even think it was possible that the birth mother would be like, yes, anonymous donation.
I mean, maybe not. We don't, that wasn't part of the conversation, but like, I would make that explicit in like the arrangement, you know? This is just awful though. Like, I feel like the punches keep coming towards Julie, and I truly feel awful for her that she's had to go through all of this in like less than 2 years, especially knowing that like, you have a dad out there that doesn't know you exist, and now he's sick. Like, I cannot imagine getting that news and just living with it, you know, living with that news. Like it's a lot. And so I did appreciate the conversation with Ben in terms of like being able to give her a little bit of guidance and not necessarily shove it down her throat, but just be like, your dad is innocent in all this, so make sure you're taking that into consideration. But I do love the move, Sarah, because we talk about how we love petty Julie. We love petty Julie. I love the move of Ben asking like, oh, well, what did you do? Like, what did you say? And she's like, I got up and left.
I know. I think like that is, I honestly think that is understandable, because once again, it's just so fucked, right? Like it's just, once again, she is disposable to her mother until she's not. So it's just like, come on, like give this poor thing a break. So I do respect the fact that she like got up and left. She's like, I am done with this conversation. This is like pretty offensive. And I don't mind that, to be honest with you. So, but you know, we know Julie, like we know that she is going to, like, she already called and was like, she hung up, but we know that she's going to go forward with this. And also the show wouldn't bring this up without this being a season 3 storyline. Like this is going to be our storyline for Julie next season. So, but what exactly. I agree with you. I think like poor Julie. It's just poor Julie.
It's a lot. It's a lot they keep demanding of this character. And it reminds me of the times with Jen. It really does. Without the dark meth past. Okay, where do you want to go next? We still have
Noel.
Okay, yes.
Noel, because we're in bonkers land. Like we are like, this is when your friend just goes through a breakup and they are pretty much in like a manic episode, and you're just like, what are you doing? Because he meets hot cousin, what's her name?
Natalie. Javier's cousin.
Yeah. Javier's cousin. Javier has a hot cousin. I have a question.
Yes.
Did you have a hot cousin? Everybody has a hot cousin.
Yeah, of course I had a hot cousin.
You had? Did they die?
Oh, no. I still have. I guess I still. Yeah, I have. Well, they're older now, so it's weird. You know what I mean? Like, they're like.
Are they single?
I don't think like any of my cousins are single, really. Actually, a few cousins are single. No, they're not single.
Yeah, I have a hot cousin. I don't know if he's currently single.
Will's hot cousin is getting married and having a baby. So
wow,
he was like the serial dater, and now he's getting married and having a baby.
Wow, everybody just grows up. So Javier is a hot cousin. Her name is Natalie. She comes around for the wedding,
and Javier warns Ben about her. He's like, stay away from her. Which immediately I'm like, tell me more, Javier. Spill the tea, Javier. Like, how do you just say stay away from her and not give more information?
Well, obviously she eats men up and spits them out.
She's a man eater.
She's a man eater a la Nelly Furtado. And I mean,
love it.
Basically, first she starts putting her claws into Ben. Ben's like, peace, I have too much like relationship drama and I really like this chick with no hair. And she's like, fine. And then they had this really like sexy interaction, Noel and Natalie, on the outside of the rehearsal dinner,
where she was like smoking, right? And he's like, you shouldn't be smoking. Yeah, but she tells him to screw off or something, which who says, I'm sorry, have you ever in your life seriously said screw off?
Well, we can't say fuck off because we are like
I know, but also screw off. Like it just, no one says that. Absolutely no one says that.
All right. Well, screw off, Jessica, because they said it. So basically, they have like this really like, they have good chemistry. They have this really like sexy interaction. And then it's like, they are a couple for the wedding. Now, I've never experienced this at a wedding before, but I've heard a lot about it, that like the single men and the single women, they start flirting. Like usually it's like one of the
bridesmaids and groomsmen.
The bridesmaids and groomsmen. And like there's like they kind of hook up for the wedding because everybody's sad and desperate, because of course we are, because we like don't have boyfriends and we're not getting married. So so they're it for the wedding, and they flirt and they're cute, and I was feeling it, like it was hot. However, what happens is they kind of like run off together.
Yeah, this is okay, because if anybody knows Noel, he is a planner, dude. Like he is not he is not Ben. He is not someone who just flies off somewhere. And they even like they stay up all night. They stay up all night chatting. Like they're really vibing off one another. And she literally verbatim says, "Do you ever feel like doing something dangerous, something impulsive and wild?" And I immediately thought, and I don't know why this was my first thought. My first thought was they're going to Vegas and getting married.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Wow. I'm like, that seems like a thing that happens on TV a lot. And when Elena is like calling Felicity saying he left a note behind, it says, "See you in September, maybe." Bitch, you got a whole ass apartment with Elena. What are you doing?
No, they don't.
Oh, they're moving out?
They're moving out because Tracy and Elena in the episode were talking about moving in together.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yes, that totally got wiped from my mind. So yeah, who the fuck knows what's going on with Noel and Natalie? But I have to say, Sarah, I'm here for it. She seems terrible. Like truly, if Javier is warning you against somebody, don't trust them. But also simultaneously, Noel needs someone to grease his wheels occasionally and like spice him up a little bit. And after dating someone who was pregnant and like gonna get married and like very, very, very serious stuff, he needs someone who's a little bit more fun time, good time, put on your Sunday best and go to Vegas and get married, like I'm here for this. I don't care. I think this is fun. And I wouldn't be surprised if they come back from Vegas married and then she ruins his life. But also, I'm here for it.
Do you think that, well, he has no money, but do you think that she's going to take him for all of what he's worth?
No, I don't think she's like vindictive. I think she's more of a life ruiner in that she will like, she's a man eater, right? Like she will put you under her spell and then drop you like a hot potato. But again, I'm here for it because you want to know why? I feel like, did we see them kiss? We didn't, right? No.
I don't know. They were close talking though.
Scott Foley has excellent kiss chemistry, as we've previously discussed. Yeah. I feel like Noel and Natalie are going to have excellent kiss chemistry. And that when the first time they kiss, it's going to sound a little bit like this. That vibe that they're going to have good kiss chemistry. So we'll see what happens with that. But I just want to plant my flag and say I'm here for it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it really just like depends. Like, obviously, this is like a manic episode because he's dealing with the fallout of Ruby, and I kind of feel like it's just like one of those like stupid mistakes that you would make. But if we're doing like a wedding in Vegas or something like that, then I mean, it could get annulled, right?
Yeah, certainly, of course, yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited about it. I think something new and spicy for Noel is exactly what he needs. But let's finally talk about Felicity, Felicity's internship drama, and then we have to loop in Javier and Samuel's wedding because adorable. This is interesting, Sarah. This kind of fight situation they have, I feel like it's one of the more relatable things that they've gone through, where it's like one person brings up something, and because the relationship is so fresh and new, right? Felicity brings up the internship. Their communication isn't quite there yet because they haven't had time to kind of flesh that side of their relationship out.
Yeah.
Ben assumes she's bringing it up because she wants to do it. So he says, do it, which Felicity then interprets as, well, he doesn't want to spend the summer with me. He wants me to do the internship. So she gets mad because he's not upset that they wouldn't be spending the summer together. And all of this kind of like manifests in this big fight.
Was this not annoying to you?
Oh, it was super annoying. Anytime. Okay. As, again, women in our 30s, I feel like this sort of relationship drama doesn't happen anymore in my own personal life because my husband and I are very communicative. If one of us is upset, we will say, like, I am upset and this is why. Yeah. And I feel like that would squash a lot of the strife that Felicity has going on, right? Like, just say what you're feeling. Because you could, like, Ben, literally all Ben has to say is, if you want to do the internship, I want you to do the internship. I think it's good for like your college and your career and blah, blah, blah. I will miss you, but I think you should do it. And I think that's that.
But does he feel that way? Because like, I feel like there's times where he was hoping that Felicity would not take the internship and just
I think
go.
It's both. Yeah, I think it's both. I think he is smart enough to like sense like, yes, this is a good opportunity for her. But also selfishly, he does not want her to go. And I think for Felicity, and I think this has always been her problem with Ben as a partner, is he is the opposite of Noel, who Noel will say everything he's feeling in a way that maybe is like too much and annoying. Ben holds it all back. He doesn't necessarily, he's not the guy that's going to like get emotional about stuff necessarily. Yeah. And I think that's what bothers Felicity because she is very much emotionally driven. And I think it bothers her. I think it bothers her that he doesn't say, you should stay with me. And so she's like almost spitefully going back after the internship. And this looks so bad, Sarah. If you're the professor and someone is like, no, I'm turning down this massive opportunity. She doesn't know it's for a guy, but like the guidance, Tony Pavone definitely does. And what did you make of the conversation between Tony and Felicity in the bathroom?
I don't know. Tony Pavone is just like not my type of therapist that I would want to go to. But I mean, like I do think that if she wasn't a therapist and she was just like an older peer or not peer, but like an older person giving advice. Like, I think that she's right. Like she should not be giving up the internship for Ben. Like, in all honesty, this internship is 2 months, maybe 3, or like this summer break is 2 months. This is fucking ridiculous. Like, you idiots can survive 2 minutes without each other. Like, you'll miss each other. It'll suck. But yeah, maybe, just maybe, you can spend a weekend together, like one of the weekends, like maybe one person can fly back. Like, we will survive. We will prevail. It is okay.
Yeah, I'm the same. I feel similarly. When you're that age, though, it feels like dramatic. It feels like so much time. But I wish, again, not just because I think this is better for Felicity's like career and stuff, but like it actually seems like something she'd be interested in. Like, I'm not like, it's not like she wouldn't enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, if the difference is you doing something, you're obligated to do it, you're not really going to want to do it, blah, 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 blah. I'm, you know, I think at this point in my life, I would say live your best life, like for the experiences.
Yeah.
It seems like there's going to be some artist there that like Felicity actually would want to work with. And so that's why I'm more like pro Felicity staying in New York and taking the internship. And so then there's all this waffling, right? Like it almost gets offered to someone else. Felicity ends up getting the internship. She finds out at Javier and Samuel's wedding.
Yeah, because there's a little back and forth. Like she's like, hey, like I don't want it, to the professor. Then she's like, I do want it. But she does get it. And ultimately she accepts it, which is the right decision. Like it really is.
Yeah. And I love this where Felicity and Ben have, I would be so mad if I'm Javier and Samuel. Although I suppose when your best man and stuff is like a college kid, maybe you would expect this. They're having their rehearsal dinner at the loft. Like, this is hilarious. And Felicity and Ben have like a very passive aggressive public argument where it's like, oh, well, you don't say what you mean and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
oh, you should have showed emotion.
During the best man speeches
Awful.
Yeah, it is pretty awful because as a person that has done more than 3 maid of honor speeches, your number one job is to not make the speech about yourself.
Yes,
that is
exactly.
the number one rule. Focus on the couple. Have you ever given a best woman speech?
I have not.
That's sad. Do you want to?
No, I'm good.
Why? You're not very. Are you uncomfortable with public speaking?
No, it's not that aspect of it. You know what it is? I'm not against public speaking. Like, I feel like I'm okay at it. I'm not someone who gets like insanely nervous for public speaking. It's more, I would struggle with the like emotional aspect of it, I think, because I am more of a, I'm not someone who gets very sentimental or mushy gushy unless I'm like one-on-one with someone.
Got it.
With like everyone watching me, I think I would have a hard time doing that sort of thing. I would probably lean more funny than sentimental in any sort of speech I gave.
Sure.
But also I just don't need to do it. Like, it's not anything I've been like sad that I haven't done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, yeah, I am a professional. I have done it many a times.
Yeah.
And I don't mind. It's fine.
Okay.
I think like each time I've done it, I've gotten better at it. So,
well, that's good. Yeah.
There's that.
But yeah, this is the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do, is make it all about yourself. So then they go into one of the bedrooms to like talk this through, like talk this whole argument through. And they have sex for the first time.
Yay.
Very loudly.
It's fine.
Oh
everything's fine. It's fine. So embarrassing. And I mean, Javier is such like a good friend. He's like, okay, everybody, let's like talk loudly. So that they don't know that we know that what they're doing. And I like how Felicity is like talking to Sally in the tape and she's like, and nobody knew we were in the next room. And it's like, it cuts to like everybody knowing. I thought that was like a really funny visual gag.
It really was. I loved this. I thought this was hilarious. And yeah, they make up. And I also, quick side tangent, when they have the conversation in bed, I don't know when in the episode it is, about Ben and how he pronounces the word anything. I felt so seen because I have noticed this since the beginning. The way that Ben says anything is more like anything.
Anything. Where is, so Ben is supposed to be from Ben is supposed to be from California. Yes.
They're both, from Palo Alto. Yeah.
Where is the actor actually from? What is this actor's name?
That I don't know. Scott Speedman.
Scott Speedman.
He's Canadian.
Okay.
He was born in London, England to Scottish parents.
Wow.
He grew up in Toronto.
Okay.
So.
All right. So I don't know. I mean, like, he should not have an accent.
well, he would have an accent, but it'd be more like if you're going real Canadian, it's more like bag instead of bag, you know?
Sure.
But yeah, he says anything. And I loved that little exchange they had. But so they have the makeup sex. And then when she finds out she did get the internship, I really loved the like Felicity tells him and he's like, well, I guess we better dance then. And they like have this very sweet dance. And I just like this. This is more of my thing, Sarah, where it's like, let's make the most of the moment instead of just being like super, super sad that we're not going to be together for a few months. Like, we'll see each other soon. And I know this is not this is not going to be what happens because this is not the type of person that at least Felicity is. And at this moment, it seems like Ben is. I almost wish they were like, let's just separate for a few months. We'll come back together in the fall. And like, then we'll try to start this relationship. Because it feels like starting the relationship off where you're going to be separated for like 3 months when you're like 19, 20 years old is difficult. But because they exchanged I love yous, I just don't think that's going to happen.
That's too dangerous. Like they're not going to, if they break up and fuck around in the summer, like it's not going to happen. It's just not. They're just going to do long distance. It's fine. This is 2 months. We can survive. You can just like, I don't know. It's just such little time. If this was a year, then I feel like this would be an actual conversation.
Yeah.
But it's just not. I don't know. I'm not taking it that seriously. But I would be sad. Like I would be sad if I was them. I would be very weepy. Like I did feel bad for Ben at the airport and he was like all like weepy and sad and Felicity was like bedridden and depressed as well. Like I empathize, I sympathize with them, but in actuality, like 2 months is like a nothing amount of time. Now, if I had to separate from my partner for 2 months, I would definitely be a weepy baby. But if it's for the
but you've been dating for a year, it's very different. Like, you know, they have just started dating. I'm not saying like they're not going to be upset about it, but also like, don't put so much pressure on it when you literally just got together. You know, that's what I'm nervous about is that one of them is going to do something. And because they had all this pressure of the I love yous and they're now in a relationship, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
You'll survive. We will prevail. It is okay. You'll survive this. I promise.
Yeah.
But it's very.
And Ben says, I love you first.
I was excited about that. I mean, like, I think like, I really do think that they are a very cute couple. If I was a team Benner, then I would be very excited about this. But in actuality, I am horribly disgusted. This is disgusting to me.
Yes, naturally.
It is absolutely revolting. It's a huge mistake. Ben is a serial cheater. He will cheat on her and it's going to be horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We got to talk about Javier and Samuel's wedding because
so sweet.
I loved it so much. I loved their vows. So Javier's are, dearest Samuel, you are my light, my soul. You are my best friend, my lover, and also my roommate, which I feel like you could have left off.
Yeah, that was a weird thing to add, I thought, but sure.
I feel that it's almost not possible that I met you, but I did. I want to thank you for being so understanding, especially that I didn't tell you until last night that next year I'm going to be a freshman at the University of New York.
Okay.
Why is this in your wedding? It's so plot devicey.
Yeah.
It is uncomfortably plot devicey because you just get the zooms in on like everyone being like, like it's so much. It's so much.
It was very funny. I greatly enjoyed how stupid it was. But yeah, I mean, like that's what it was. It was just like, okay, we have to announce that we're going to go to NYU next year. Like everybody has to know. It was so funny.
It's just so freaking stupid. I love it so much. But yeah, he continues, I promise I will do everything I can to make you feel as blessed to be my partner as I am to be yours. I love you.
That was nice.
Yeah. And then the Samuel's vows. I look at you and I see love. I look at you and I see my future. No one who knows you can't consider himself blessed, but to be the man who gets to grow old with you. I am truly the most blessed man alive. I thank God for you and I love you.
Very
so
nice.
Sweet. Their vows are cute. Are cute.
Is Sam boring?
The thing is, I don't know that we know enough about him to say if he's boring. Like, we've barely met this man. I don't know. How do you feel about handwritten or, self-written vows?
Oh, I mean, I really like it. Like, I'm such a romantic. I think that it's just like really, really special, especially I'm not a very religious person. So doing the whole like traditional vows is less interesting for me. And there's just something so sweet about sharing words that you have just like a more intimate experience. I really love weddings that are a lot like if the officiant knows the couple and it's more personal. Like I've been to some weddings where it's just like very like traditionally religious and I'm like, this feels so impersonal and it's less so about the couple and their love and more so about the promise they make to God as like a Christian, Catholic, Jewish couple. And I have more issue with that because it's just like, it just feels less personal. So I am very high on writing your own vows. And I know that you did for your wedding. It was a little hard to hear Will's vows because he is soft-spoken. Yours, loud and proud. It came out very beautifully. But it was...
Well, we also had there was some tricky business with ours because for the uninitiated, I got married in October of 2020 during COVID, and there were like 10 people physically at our wedding, including us. And then we like live streamed it for everyone else that couldn't be there. And so you all were hearing the vows through like a microphone that the who's the guy who the officiator, he had a microphone, and that's what Will's vows were being spoken into. So it was like, I mean, I could hear him clearly, but I was standing like a few feet in front of him. I feel very similarly. I'll echo a lot of your sentiments in terms of making it personal. The only thing that is very difficult, and I understand, I mean, I didn't think it was as difficult because with only 10 people in the room, it felt more intimate, even though a bunch of people were watching it. Like, it didn't feel as public as like maybe a larger wedding would feel. It is a little weird to be saying all of these things, like some intimate feelings that you have in front of like a room full of people, even though you're speaking to your person. You know what I mean? So I think the thing is like focus on them and not like everyone else that is sitting in front of you. I agree with you though. Like, I think personal vows are the way to go just because they feel real and they're the promises that you're making to someone. Theirs were good. I thought they had some good moments in them. Like, I really did like the, like, I'm so proud that I get to grow old with you. Like, I thought was like very sweet. So I'm really happy for Javier and Samuel. I thought they were like very, very cute. And apparently we are now going to see Javier at NYU next season. So that's fun.
Yeah, I think like it's kind of just like a TV tropey. Like, how can we get Javier out of the Dean and DeLuca and random Thanksgiving setting? Oh, we'll make him a student. Like, it's a little silly, but it's fine. It's like very TV, focus. It's whatever.
Exactly.
Their wedding was beautiful. It was beautifully designed. Of course it was. It was very sweet. It was like a really lovely day. And I'm glad that they were able to enjoy it. And it was like low drama. I really liked when Javier was like putting away his distaste for Julie and like made her dance with him. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah, no one is allowed to be sad at my wedding.
No pouting. No pouting at my wedding.
It was so funny.
Yeah, it was great. It was like a great day, and I'm glad that everybody had like a really lovely wedding day.
Mm-hmm. What did you think about this in terms of it being a season finale? Like, did it feel finale-y enough to you? How would you compare it to, if you remember, the season 1 finale?
It was a little soft, and I think like that the reason why is because there was no like huge cliffhanger. Like I felt like they definitely like tied. Of course, there's like where did Noel and Natalie go? Is Felicity and Ben going to survive a summer away from each other? Will Julie donate her kidney? And of course, how is Megan and what's his face, Sean, going to be in Tuscany? Like there's questions, but it wasn't like huge and dramatic and like I don't know, something like horrible that goes on. And in terms of like a finale, I guess like I liked of course I liked last season's finale better because there was like, did Felicity go with Noel and Ben? Like that was like, I need to know. We have a lot more answers. However, if I look at the season in general, like this season 2 is like leaps and bounds better than season 1 and Felicity. So it's okay. But yeah, last season's finale was definitely better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need every season finale to have a big cliffhanger on it, you know, like, because we do get baby cliffhangers, you know, we get where the hell did Noel and Natalie go? Is Julie going to give her kidney? Sort of, those are the what's going to happen with Megan and Sean in Tuscany. Like, we get those mini cliffhangers. And then the smaller cliffhanger of like, what's going to happen with Ben and Felicity? Like, are they going to make it being long distance over the summer? I really enjoyed this. I feel like the past few episodes have all been really good. Like Ben was here, Aretha Theory, Final Answer, and then this one. I feel like they've all been really good episodes.
Yeah.
So I don't mind a little bit more of a less exciting finale, if you will, because I think the interesting thing is we're setting a lot up for the next season in the finale versus like the premiere. They're setting things up. It feels like, oh, we're setting the ball in motion for what's going to happen in season 3. So I really liked it. I thought it was like a solid finale. I loved that we got Javier like being, you know, all of this is kind of happening around his wedding. I think is fun. Yeah. So I really liked it. And I'm excited to see where season 3 goes from here.
Yeah. Junior year of college. I mean, it's time to start getting serious. I think I'm really excited to see how Felicity's internship goes. Like, I'm hoping that it's like really beneficial to her. We're going to start thinking about careers. Noel, if he comes back to school, is going to be a senior. So he definitely needs to start figuring out what he's doing in the future. So it's like really, really like a pivotal year coming up. I'm excited to see what happens. Yeah.
Yep. So that's the finale episode. Let's get to some feedback here. We did get an email from Jamie, who says the show was on a roll with the last 3 episodes. Ben was here, the Aretha Theory, and Final Answer. Unfortunately, this episode was a bit of a letdown, especially as a season finale. Last year's season finale, Felicity Was Here, was a much better finale. Which finale did you ladies prefer? Sarah says season 1. I think I would agree in terms of like excitement level, but I feel like I'm much more invested in all of the characters by this season finale versus like only caring what's happening with like Felicity in the last one. That makes sense. My favorite moment was definitely the I love yous. I was glad that Ben said it first, since the idea of Felicity loving him greatly freaked him out in the season premiere. It shows how far Ben has come this season, and I think season 2 has been the season of Ben. The kiss chemistry between Ben and Felicity continues to be fire. I do wish their first time had been more romantic than what we actually got, which was more comical with everyone being able to hear them. I like it that way. I don't mind it.
They're sluts.
This might be a controversial take, but I actually wish Felicity had spent her summer with Ben as opposed to doing the internship. I'm all for people enjoying their summer vacations while they have, because once you're done with college, you'll never get full 3 months off unless you choose a career in education. I'm sure there will be other internship opportunities for Felicity during her next 2 school years. How do you feel about that, Sarah?
I think that when you are that age, I think it's just like very hard to not spend your summer with your partner. But this seems like, I mean, it's at the Met, that it's like a specialized exhibit. Like this seems like a really big opportunity to miss out on.
Yeah. I think where I stand is, if it was any old internship, then blow it off, stay with Ben. But this is like a really great opportunity, you know, like and it's not, again, I think Felicity will enjoy herself. If she's going to be miserable, then yeah, of course, go spend the summer with Ben. I totally understand where Jamie's coming from, though, because I do think I look back on some of those years in my life when life was easier and I had less responsibility. And I was almost taking on more responsibility instead of being young and fun and doing things and being a bit more impulsive and spontaneous, you know? Yeah. And finally, I will respond to last week's conversation where you ranked the shows you have covered. For me, it's Felicity in first place, Dawson's Creek in second, and Buffy in last place.
Oh,
for Jamie's ranking.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to hear from Jamie. Jamie, have you seen? Okay, so have you seen all three shows? I don't think so. I think you're watching Felicity for the first time with us. But we want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. And do you just think that Boy Meets World is absolute trash?
I think she was only doing the teen dramas.
Got it. Trash is trash.
And then we do have some voicemails, so let's see what Temmie has to say.
Dear Felicity, bitch, better have my tapes or you may find yourself lying in that bed involuntarily. Have you seen the movie Misery? That friend of yours, Sean, is a shrewd businessman because I paid him to put secret cameras in places I know you'll be. Come on, Felicity. Girl, that moment with you and Ben and Ethan, so cute. It was so fetch. But that professor should have told you to fuck off, like they say a lot on that show Succession. Yeah, I bugged the school too, and I know about shows in the future. You yourself are a stone cold killer. Elizabeth, is it? The actress who plays the professor is named Elaine Kagan. And one of the Supreme Court justices is named Elena Kagan. Quoi? Some bad bitches. Bitches Brew is the name of a Miles Davis album, appropriate because Megan's going to Wicca camp. Yeah, I spy on her too. Hey, sexy lady. Whoop them Gangnam Style. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. Okay. Seriously, though, compare some of Felicity's sleeveless tops from this episode. Thanks. Bye.
Compare some of Felicity's what?
Tops?
Like
shirts?
Like her outfits? I liked her wedding dress. I thought it was very pretty.
Yeah.
The red one.
I don't remember any of Felicity's clothes in this.
The wedding one is the only one I can even think of.
Felicity.
Also, sometimes Temmie sends in voicemails, and I feel like I've just temporarily been on like some sort of mushroom trip.
you transcend.
I did. Yes, I did understand the Succession stuff. Yeah, I don't know what else to say to that, Temmie. I really don't. I don't have any other responses. Besides, I did like Felicity's outfit for the wedding. I thought
what if that's not even what like Temmie asked us at the end, and that's we were just like,
and I really don't know. All right, let's hear what DBK has to say. Let's see how into Megan and Sean he is.
What up, though, ladies? Okay, so the season finale of Felicity, I got to watch it twice because you guys had like a little hurricane action that knocked you guys out for a week. Because I was gonna let you just like stew on the whole Megan and Sean of it all, that they're gonna spend the summer together in Vienna. Like, how great is that for Sean? But I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm not the only person that made the joke, right? That when Julie said, how sick is her father? That I said both times that I watched this episode, I said, well, sick enough to come see you, Julie. It's a show, people. Take it easy. Take it easy.
DBK.
Yeah, Felicity stays to do the internship. Great advice from Dr. Pavone, like never pass up an opportunity to become a more interesting person. Like words to live by Dr. Pavone. She gives the good advice in the bathroom. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, there's like, Allie Landry's on this episode. She was like the Dorito girl. This was like, I think, kind of a big thing at the time. Yeah, Natalie snuck off with Noel. Noel's gonna be a bad boy now. Oh yeah, and I also really liked that like Richard thinks that Ben cares about anything that he says. I found their like interaction super funny this episode. Anyways, I'll have stuff for the season roundup. Till next week, ladies. Peace.
Richard was very funny this episode.
He was. I did enjoy him this episode. Okay, so I feel like I'm sensing that DBK is into the Megan and Sean of it.
Yeah.
I was expecting a little more fanfare, but maybe we'll get that in the season wrap up from him.
Yeah, I think so.
Things that weren't surprising is him not liking how Julie handled things. Or just making fun of Julie in general. Anyway, so that's this episode. Next week, of course, as usual, we'll be back for our season wrap up before starting season 3. Do you want to know the episode title for the premiere of season 3 now, Sarah?
Yeah, I'll take it.
It is called The Christening, which doesn't that happen to babies?
Baptisms?
I mean, is a christening a baptism, or is it different?
Girl, who are you asking?
Is a christening and a baptism the same thing? So many people have Googled this. Yes, it is the same thing.
I went to a baptism. Well, I was at church not so long ago, and there was a baptism there. That baby was adorable.
Okay. I haven't been to one in a very long time.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, you are
boring.
You are going to get burned up.
I mean, if I wasn't already going to hell for like, all the things, then yeah, I'm not afraid. Anyway, yeah. Whose baby is getting christened?
Everyone's baby. What do you mean?
No, I mean on the show.
Oh,
like is Ruby coming back with her baby? No.
Oh,
she wouldn't have had the baby back.
Hold up.
What?
This is not happening.
Are we jumping forward in time?
No. What if Javier and Sam adopt Ruby's baby?
But Ruby's not even here anymore. She left.
Well, what happens if Javier and Sam adopt a baby?
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah.
That I'm here for.
Okay.
Or they christen, what's his cat's name again?
Oh my God, I forgot about Javier's cat.
Javier's cat.
Oh, Javier's cat is the best.
She's an icon. She needs to be christened.
Javier's cat. I forget Javier's cat's name.
Was it Mrs. something or Queen something?
Some Mrs. something.
Lady something.
I forget.
I feel like it had a title.
I loved that cat.
You did, yeah. You're a big fan.
Mommy. It was Mommy.
It was just Mommy. Okay. Well, Mommy's getting christened maybe. But yeah, as usual, we'll be back next week to wrap up season 2 before we jump into season 3. In the meantime, if you would like to follow us at Shit90s Pod everywhere. Also, if you want to leave us a review, and only 5 stars, because it's really mean and it hurts our feelings when we get anything less than that, especially when people call us boring. I don't care if you call me stupid, because I am stupid. Don't call me boring, because I am anything but boring.
Everything's fine. It's okay.
Everything is fine. I'm really not that upset about it. I honestly laughed because I thought it was funny. But we do like 5-star reviews. So please, and I will read them on the podcast. I won't read a 1-star review.
No, I mean, you literally just did.
I didn't say exactly what it said. I just alluded to the
I think
fact.
the title was "You Are Boring." And
No,
the
so
subject
boring.
the
Subject was stupid people. Looking at you, fan 356. We see you. Honestly, if they're even listening, like, wow, how did you get this far into a podcast? You rated 1 star. Anyway.
No, the Zoloft is working because I was very unbothered by
it. I'm so happy because I was worried when I saw it first, but I didn't say anything to you because I was like, I'm not bringing this to Sarah's attention. She doesn't need this in her life. Anyway.
I did have a dream last night that we did get more reviews.
They were 1 star?
Yeah, but it said it said Jessica's so annoying. I would listen to the podcast if it was just Sarah.
I love how your dream is being shady to me specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
That was the dream.
So yeah, we do appreciate 5 stars. And if you want to follow us at Shit90spod, of course, always send in your feedback because we love reading it. Shit90spod@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at shit90spod.com. In the meantime, we're going to be back later this month with some spooky content. And you can hear us together on a podcast over on Whirlwind Podcasts. It should be dropping soon. We don't know exactly when, but we did a little book club moment. And if you're a 90s fan, the crossover is just incredible because The Face on the Milk Carton, if that book rings a bell, you may or may not be a girl that grew up in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. We are literate bitches. I told you.
We can read. So go listen to that podcast and let us know if that's something that you would want more of. I really enjoyed myself. It was a fun time. It was me, Sarah, Melissa, and Lindy. Chatted all about the book from the 1990s.
Do you want to hear the book that I'm reading now?
Yes, I do.
It's called Before We Were Innocent. And it's about 3 friends who, when they were 18 years old, they go to Greece on a vacay. And one of them dies on the vacay.
Oh my God. Okay. I was going to say it's giving Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but it stopped. It stopped.
And everybody blames the 2 living friends for killing because there was.
Did she get murdered?
I mean, I'm not telling you what happened in the book, but everyone blames the 2 remaining friends because, like, the 2 remaining friends, like, I don't know, like, they were teenagers. So there was like texts that came out that they were like in a fight with her. Ooh. And that like they were like not grateful for the trip because her parents, the one that died, her parents was the one that like paid for everything, that they weren't grateful and blah, 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 blah. And then it like goes back and forth to now and like back then. And now they're like 30 whatever years old. And there's like another like missing person murder and people are blaming them again.
Is it good? Do you like it so far?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Before we were innocent.
Before we were innocent. Okay.
Yeah.
Incredible. I'm not reading anything at the moment. I'm just
illiterate.
I am illiterate, obviously. This is you know that I'm illiterate. Yeah, I think that's about everything. So don't forget to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review and follow us everywhere. And we'll be back. Why don't shake your head? Listen, I'm not actually mad about the 1-star review, but it is very mean. So we need people to counteract that meanness with some kindness.
Everything's fine.
Just be kind in the world. Okay. Until next week, we will talk to you all then. Bye.
Just ask. Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.